Battlefield 6's closed beta testing has started back up. Not officially, but we can all tell due to the copious amounts of leaks showing off the new Mirak Valley map, the Firestorm map, and the massive Battle Royale map as well. We even got some leaked footage of Portal, and we got a fly-through of all the weapons that seem like they're going to be launching with the game. Naturally, I can't show you any of these leaks, but they have been posted over the past several days. Some of them have been taken down, others have remained up. And they've given us a ton of information about what we can expect from the large-scale maps in Battlefield 6, something which we didn't really get to see during the open beta, and also the first look at what's going to be the modern take on a Battlefield Battle Royale. And before we get into the leaked info, we actually have some official news from DICE, where they posted a whole bunch of interesting stuff on both the upcoming maps, the Portal mode, and the capabilities of that. And they've shown us what the min specs are going to be for Battlefield 6, which looks incredibly promising. On a PC, you can run Battlefield 6 with a GeForce RTX 2060, so one of the low-end, now 3-generation-old GPUs. And even some of the devs posted some additions to this, saying that according to their data, people were playing the Battlefield 6 beta on even lower end PCs and getting playable frame rates. So I think we can safely say that Battlefield 6 is pretty well optimized for low end systems. They also mentioned that there would be support for DLSS and frame gen and all the bells and whistles that come on the new graphics cards these days, but that they are aiming to deliver a game with a stable frame rate even if you're not using those tools, which I know a huge portion of the gaming community is going to be really excited about. DICE was also keen to show off some of their Portal details, including some images showing a wave assault mode on the Liberation Peak map that has been modified to have sort of these high-rise gun positions, and there was some leaked gameplay showing off the Portal mode as well. I wouldn't call it impressive gameplay. It looked like people just messing around and building these sort of monstrous-looking skyscrapers. Clearly, though, the capabilities for Portal are there, so much more so than they were in 2042. It seems like the tools are going to be significantly more powerful and accessible, but I think it'll take a little while after these tools come out for people to really start seeing the more refined experiences coming out and figuring out just what the coolest and best things you can do with the mode are. Now let's talk about two of the giant maps coming with Battlefield 6 that have been extensively leaked at this point. There's Mirak Valley and Operation Firestorm. Mirak Valley, which is touted as the largest map coming in Battlefield 6, is impressively large. It's got massive construction areas, it's got villages that all look completely destructible, and it's got plenty of vehicles for getting around the map quickly, which it looks like you will absolutely need to do if you want to get any work done in terms of capturing objectives. DICE released an image of the map showing that there's 2 jets, 2 helicopters, and 4 heavy armored vehicles in each of the team's deployments, so that's a pretty good starting payload, not counting what kind of vehicles are unlocked throughout the map. Liberation Peak showed us that you could get access to the anti-air tank by capturing one of the middle objectives, so it's likely that a lot of these larger maps will incentivize capturing certain points to give you additional armor. Now, I also watched as much Firestorm footage as I could get a hold of. It looks really good. The layout is updated with more cover, rocks, terrain, elevation changes, so it seems like you won't be caught as much out in the open by vehicles, but there's still definitely big open areas of land that you'll have to get around. Just a little bit more cover for soldiers, which seems like a good update for the map. The general layout otherwise looks fairly unchanged, with the big industrial area having pretty much all the same pathing and ladders and vantage points as it did before. The color grading of the map, which has been a bit of a hot topic for BF6, looks extremely close to the classic Battlefield 3 look, which I'm not a huge fan of, and we'll see if DICE does any color grading adjustments before release. Overall, though, the map looks incredible, and I could easily see it becoming another fan favorite. There is also an interesting leak for a different map called Badlands, which basically looks like some of the oil fields in California. People are speculating that this might be a seasonal map that has just been data mined from the game. Now we also got some leaks cycling through all the available weapons in the current labs playtest for BF6, and there's an impressive roster of weapons there. I'm not going to list out every single one of them because there's a lot, but I'll point out some of my highlights. In the assault rifle category, the L85 is coming back. We get a 5.56 version of the Scar. We get the Tavor assault rifle. In the carbine section, there's a SIG 5.53, which is exciting. SMGs, we get the MP5, the UMP40, the Chris Vector, the P90. Lots of classics coming into the base game. For DMRs, we get the iconic SVD. In the bolt action sniper category, the SV98 is also coming back. And again, that is just a fraction of all the weapons that were leaked and shown off so far. Now, some of the more surprising leaks that honestly I was not expecting to see were extensive walkthroughs and gameplay of the new Battle Royale map. The setting still appears to be Southern California. There was a little bit of white box stuff in the footage, but ultimately the map looked pretty far along with incredible details and sightlines. The map is absolutely huge, as you would expect from a Battle Royale map. I don't know if it's bigger than, say, the Firestorm map, but it seems like it could be in the same ballpark. The graphics and lighting really are a step ahead of what's being done in other Battle Royales. Not to mention they showcased destruction on a lot of the buildings that you just find anywhere in the city or around, and they are fully destructible, which is going to take the gameplay to a new realm even beyond what we saw in Firestorm. Because while Firestorm did offer fully destructible buildings, they were only showcased in smaller urban areas. This map has some fairly large, dense urban environments, and if those environments are as destructible as I think they're going to be, this could be an absolutely wild experience. Some of the location highlights were a coastal marina area showing that you could jump in the water and swim and dive under the water, similar to, say, Battlefield 4. There's a pretty nice looking golf course. Of course, you can get into a golf cart and drive those around. There's massive rolling hills, which I'm sure will provide excellent sniper vantage points. There's a huge mansion on top of a hill surrounded by more suburban houses. There's a large retail shopping area. More inland, there is a desert area with arrays of solar panels and large dish arrays as well. There's a military outpost looking place with a giant commander sniper tower building. Interestingly, the player leaking this gameplay spawned in at what appeared to be a more traditional spawn screen where you got to swap out your kit and gadgets and sort of go in with what you wanted, and then they would parachute into the map. This looks like it's probably placeholder and that players will have a more traditional Royale experience of needing to scavenge and collect your loot once you get on the ground. I don't know, this isn't confirmed, but there were a bunch of trucks that you could open up the backs to that looked like they would probably contain some loot and stuff like that. It didn't look like there was any loot on the map yet. So it still looks like a pretty early testing phase of the Royale, which definitely makes me think we're not going to be seeing the Royale at launch, and maybe not even that close to the launch window either. Some ladder gadget gameplay was also demonstrated. The ladder can be used as a low-lying ramp that you can just run across, or it can be more vertical that you can climb up to higher locations. I could see this being a pretty useful gadget on some of the larger maps, especially maps featuring lots of verticality in buildings where you don't want to have to go through the choke points. It could actually open up some pretty interesting avenues. Not to mention its usefulness in, say, the Battle Royale mode where you have dense urban environments that you might want to get up into a building in a less traditional way. Anyway, the leaks are coming fast, and the countdown to the official launch of the game is as well. I can't get enough of it. I'm very excited. I think what we've seen so far more or less confirms that Battle Royale is probably coming a bit after launch. It seems like DICE is already working on some seasonal map content, and the large maps for the game look very impressive, and I can't wait to get hands-on. Let me know in the comments which things you're looking forward to the most with Battlefield 6's launch. There is a lot to choose from, which I think is the objective. If you guys enjoyed this leak coverage, give me a like, subscribe for more content like it, and up next, check out the latest devlog for a video game that I am building in Unreal Engine 5 if you want to see some of the behind the scenes work that goes into creating your own video game. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.